Hi, today we're talking about physical activity, moving your body. Because I don't know about you, but I don't know of anyone that has been able to go from being overweight or obese to being healthy without doing physical activity regularly. And I want to make this easy for you because there's a lot of misconceptions out there about how much you need to do. And so we'll bust through some of those and make a plan, and that will help with your self-worth. Now, I'm just going to bust through some of those myths to start with, because a lot of people seem to think that you need to do large amounts of physical activity. You only need to do 7 minutes of physical activity in a day. And included in that is 4 bursts of 20 seconds of high impact. Just in terms of your own ability, that it's about pushing yourself so that you have 4 bursts of 20 seconds where you're doing high impact activity. So perhaps you're swinging your arms that much faster. You might be running on the spot. You might be skipping. You could be doing some squats. Just doing something that's that little bit more of a high impact that gets your heart rate racing that little bit. So you've got that gentle puff going on for you when you're doing that activity. Now, potentially you could spread that throughout your day. You don't have to do it in one go. So if you don't do it in the morning, you might decide that before you have some lunch that you're going to do 3 minutes or 4 minutes of some sort of physical activity before you have that meal. And you could do the same for dinner. Alternative things that could work really well if you're somebody who likes to sit and watch television at night is to make a rule for yourself that every second ad break, as an example, you might do 60 seconds of physical activity, because those ad breaks go on forever these days. So it might be the opportunity just to jump up and down for 20 seconds and then sit down, or do some sit-ups or something that's going to help you in getting that requirement of physical activity. Remember, it's about getting your heart rate up for those 20 seconds. And, it's been proven that doing short bursts of exercise is actually much more beneficial for you over, doing long stints of exercise when you are trying to go from overweight or obese down to a healthy range. Now, that's because when you do long stints of exercise, your body starts doing things differently. And you're also potentially going to get more stressed. You will have different chemicals going through your body. I'd like you to make a commitment to do some form of physical activity every day. And the reason that I ask you to do that is that in keeping that commitment to yourself, you build your self-worth. It's far too easy if you say to yourself that you're going to exercise for 3 days a week or 5 days a week, to maybe it's raining or it's too hot outside or you just don't feel like it. Just before you know it, you've done no exercise for the week. So we want to build a daily habit of doing some form of physical activity. And doing that little bit, it's amazing how much that self-chatter that goes on in your head, beating yourself up, it just dissipates. Because when you are doing something for yourself every day and keeping that commitment, then your brain lets you off. It's like, okay, you've done what you said you were going to do, so I don't need to beat you up today. Like, all good. This is about building healthy habits for your life. We're not about doing a certain amount of activity until you get to your goal weight and then stopping, because that's just ridiculous. We want you to be healthy for the rest of your life. So you need to be able to find some things that you love that you can do comfortably every day. Doing your physical activity first thing in the morning has lots of great benefits. Anthony Robbins calls it your power hour, that first hour in the morning of getting all the rituals done that really help you get in the right mindset for the day. And physical activity should be part of it. Now, if you can't do it in the morning, then absolutely you can do it at other times. But the advantage of doing it in the morning is that it really does help your metabolism and getting through that, food that you're going to be eating for the rest of the day. It also floods your system with serotonin, which is that happiness drug. Why do people need drugs when they can just do it all themselves, just chemically engineer this in their own body with the right type of thoughts and activities? You can do this stuff at home. You don't need to join a gym unless you want to, of course, then go for it. I would absolutely suggest doing some physical activity where you're doing some muscle strengthening. Now, some little bits of equipment that can help with this. You might want to purchase some little hand weights that you can get from sporting stores and even department stores such as Kmart and Big W here in Australia sell these types of things. Alternatively, you could fill a milk bottle up with water and, be lifting that just to help build some muscle for you. An alternative piece of equipment that helps as well is this stretchy bands, and you can get these from sporting outlets and even the department stores as well. And these also help build your muscles. A muscle burns fat, which is why I suggest actually incorporating some form of activity a little bit where you are helping to get your muscles stronger. Now, to help you with that 7 minutes of activity, there are lots of free apps that you can download on your phone. 7-minute workouts that can help you with some ideas about some different activities that you can do. There might be 5 or 7 different things that you'll do within that 7 minutes to help warm you up to start with, get your heart rate up, and then cool you down. So that could be an option for you. I'd also suggest, if you have some problem areas that you really want to work on, is even just Google. I decided earlier in the year that I really wanted to be able to work on my legs because for many, many years my legs have touched together and I want to get to a point where there's a nice little gap between them. So I also wanted to work on my waist measurement because I had a waist measurement of 83 centimetres and I wanted to get well under the 80 centimetres for females, which is the healthy weight range. So I Googled, and some of the suggestions that they had was doing squats. So I've incorporated squats every day into my physical activity regime. And I'm now 70 centimetres waist, and I have lost, I can't remember how many kilos I've lost this year, but since last year I have lost 21 kilos and 23 centimetres around my waist in total. So really just working on the right physical activity that's going to target the areas that you want to will absolutely help you. Now, the important thing is with physical activity is to do this and enjoy it. So whilst you're doing the activity, really have fun with it. Now, for me, when I do my physical activity in the morning, I'm listening to podcasts and audio tapes of teachers and mentors and really helping my brain get in the right place for the morning too. Alternatively, I sometimes listen to music that really helps me, get the mood that I want for the day, like ramp me up that little bit more. And do something that helps you to make it an enjoyable thing for you to do. Because if it's not enjoyable, guess what? You'll stop doing it, particularly if you're not getting the results as fast as you think you should be. Remember, this is about building a healthy habit for your life, something that you're going to love to do every day. And absolutely change it up. You don't have to do the same exercises every day. So after 3 weeks of doing the same exercises, you potentially could find that your metabolism's slowing down. So this is when you need to actually ramp it up a little bit more with a higher intensity or changing to some different activities. So please have a think about what activities you would like to do. Maybe not tomorrow or next week, but sometime in the future, and that's something that you can schedule on your calendar of, I want to learn how to surf, or I'm going to go abseiling, or whatever crazy or quite different thing that you haven't done before. Now, some people have beliefs about physical activity and think that because of a particular injury that they're not able to do physical activity. I'm sure that you can modify things even if you're not able to walk. Just sitting in your chair and pumping your arms, you are doing some form of physical activity. You're getting your heart rate up when you're really pumping that hard. So it doesn't have to limit you. That's your choice. And if you need an inspiration, then have a look at some of the wonderful Paralympians that were recently at the Paralympic Games. In 2000, when the Sydney Games was on, I had the great pleasure of being able to go to the Paralympic Games and see a number of events. And if there is anything that you need to motivate you, it is watching somebody who's lost one or both legs or not able to walk, or have some huge change happen in their life, and they were able to turn that around, and now they are fit and healthy and successful. So your injuries are potentially only in your head limiting you. When you can decide that they're not going to limit you, you will absolutely achieve what you want. A couple of things that I'll ask you to do today. Firstly is to write a list of some activities, physical activities that you might like to partake in. Maybe not tomorrow, it could be, even next year. Perhaps you've never tried yoga before, or kickboxing, or surfing, or, something that might be quite different to what you've done in the past. Write a list of all the different things that you might like to research. Perhaps see whether there's some different fitness groups that you could attend, or maybe you could do some research, Google it and see if there's some ideas that you can find out about how to do those activities at home. Because it's about enjoying this. We want you to have a healthy life, and you're not going to want to do potentially the same activity all the time. You want to mix it up a little. So let's find some other options for you later down the track at least. And also let us know what commitment you are making in terms of physical activity that you will do every day. So it's about how much, or what, by when. So how many minutes? When are you going to get it done? Is it going to be first thing in the morning? Is it going to be before you have breakfast, or before lunch or dinner? Is it going to be as soon as you finish work every day? What is the plan of when you can get this activity done? We want to know this commitment that you're making to yourself. By telling us all, it makes you more accountable to do it. Start out small. If you're not doing large amounts now, then start at 4 minutes if you like. That's 4 minutes more than you were doing the day before. If you're not currently doing some form of physical activity every day, there's no point you committing to doing 45 minutes of activity every day. Because if you haven't been able to do it so far, you're probably not going to be able to start and keep that momentum up all the time. So start small and work it up. You can start with the 4 minutes and then work up to 45 minutes and how many months down the track if that's what you want to do. It's about falling in love with doing this. They say that it's about the journey, not just the destination. And absolutely, this journey is about a healthy lifestyle for the rest of your life. I look forward to hearing those commitments. Have a great day. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.